All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up on this episode of Wrestling for the Culture, I got the Rev Ron Hunt in the building. You already know what he coming to talk about because it was some things said on the last episode. So after the intro rolls, it's time. By the way, this is a new intro, so make sure y'all check it out. The Wrestling Realm presents Wrestling for the Culture, where we highlight pro wrestlers and pro wrestling personalities of color. Here's your host, Brian H. Waters. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Wrestling for the Culture. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. Got Reverend Ron Hunt in the building. Rev, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm good, Brian. How about you, man? I appreciate you having me on today.
Man, appreciate you coming on. Long time coming. I know, every morning, not every morning, but most of the mornings throughout the week, I'm on my drive to taking the kids and get the alert, the Twitter spaces be open. So good things to have, especially keep you out of the phone. No texts while driving, but you can definitely, I put my headphones in and get a good motivational word. And just opportunity to listen to a lot of people, share what they're working on or what they're doing, or people who need encouraging words. So I publicly want to thank you for hosting those.
Man, that's an honor. I think that's been a big thing that we've been trying to tell people with Shane Taylor Promotions, and as a whole, I think supporting the culture goes much more beyond pro wrestling. And I think all of us has always looked at an outlet of how we can continue to build each other up and support each other. So I mean, that was just one of my many ways that I just considered to really start, and I really saw that was missing. And I said, we don't have to wait until wrestling shows to talk about the culture. We could do this at any given time, and it could be on any given subject. And then at the end of the day, I always give a little freebie out there. I say, everybody follow everybody. And if you guys have a business or anything, tag me in it so I can get it out there. And we're all in this together, man. We can't survive by ourselves, man. We're our brothers and our sisters keeper. So that's something I plan on doing for quite a while, Brian.
Yeah, man, I definitely appreciate that. Man, like I mentioned the new intro. I don't know, because on my end it kind of hiccup, but I'm like, I don't know if you saw the powerful picture. I stole that on one of y'all pages.
I did, man. I said, "Ooh, that boy got some spice on that." I was like, "I appreciate that."
I was in the building that night, and it was an amazing moment when when all y'all raised the fist. I gotta ask you, man, how did it feel? Like, I know everything that y'all stood for, but and then that story, the story between Shane Taylor and Kenny King leading up to it, but then to see, like, I remember I watched Shane. I believe it might have been on Black Wrestling, but I know he was talking about how sometimes brothers fight, and then afterwards, you got to get it out, and then you come together. But how did the moment feel for you being inside the ring?
That was an organic moment. We didn't tell production about that. There was a particular reason why we didn't. That was something that was for us, and that we wanted the world to see. And just as Shane has alliterated to, brothers will fight. We'll come to blows. One of my best friends, my best friend, we fought many times. There's a lot of both of our bloods in the backyard, but at the end of the day, we all came together cohesively. And, that was the main mindset that we wanted to get out there. No matter what, you don't have to tear down your own brother and your own sisters in order to make it to the top. There will be times you might come to blow. But at the end of the day, you shake it off and you realize, we might fight at this given time, but at the end of the marathon, we still going to hold each other up no matter what. And so be able to show that at a national and an international level, that did my heart good. I felt the unity, and anyone that you have talked to that was in the ring with us at that time, just the amount of unity and cohesiveness that was between the ropes in that squared circle that night in Baltimore was something that I think we will all cherish, no matter what walk of life we take. We will all cherish and remember that. And that just spoke on the microcosm of how we held each other up, even behind the curtain, that many fans have never seen, and that we'll continue to hold each other up by. So to me, that meant so much to me, to be a part of history and be able to see the positive outpour that we've seen from people from being there live or seeing the moment online and in social media.
Yeah, that it was like you said, man. I was happy I was there. I'm gonna say this. I don't think I'll get anybody in trouble. I felt like ROH dropped the ball that night because I thought that match, which was suggested on social media, but I thought the winner of that match should have been in the World Championship match. No offense, there was no need to. You didn't have to bring Jay Lethal in because that was the most important story going into the night. It wasn't about the title. It was Shane Taylor and Kenny King. And it just goes to show, there was the hashtag Black Wrestling Draws. So that should have been the case. But I had to say that while you was here.
For
Um,
sure.
but it was an epic night. I want to get right in. We're gonna get to your career, but I want to get right into what got us here sooner or fast.
Oh
Um,
boy.
and let's go ahead, coming up, I got my tickets. The Bodega Street Fight. You and JBoujii. Man, so Jay says you had kindly asked for his head on a platter. What led you to that? What was it that made you call him out?
Yeah, so it was actually the night before Final Battle. If
Okay.
anyone remembers that, I believe it might actually be in the same venue as for We Are Wrestling. And yeah, and the thing was, the main event was O'Shea Edwards versus Dan Month. Tremendous. Dan is a legend in and of itself. Has all of our respect just based off of his accolades and his worth in this business alone. And Jay actually got my attention in a good way. He came up to us after the show in the locker room, and he wanted to talk business. He wanted to talk shop. He wanted to pick our brain, and I respect anybody that wants to go that limit because they remind me of me. Getting any opportunity to pick somebody's brain that's above you that might have a little bit more wisdom in this business. And that just talks about the hunger of it. So, I looked at him as a guy that was hungry for this business, pretty much like a little brother, that I could take under the wing. And being able to see some things, our whole mindset is we want to give the spotlight where we feel the spotlight is due. And I wanted to throw him a bone, just based out of the respect of him coming up to us and showing us respect the right way. You give respect, you get respect. And somewhere, I don't know where the line got misstrued, but it got far off the tracks very shortly after. So I just said, Pro Wrestling World, feed me JBoujii between the ropes. That is all. I didn't want nothing else. Give them to me, and I'll test them myself. And somehow, some way, we now get to a Bodega Street Fight match on May 20th. I don't know where that came from, honestly. I don't know. But I know he might be in trouble. That's all I know.
Man, well, look, I know as a journalist, and it's something that I pride myself on. I'm a producer as well, but I still have, I went to school for this. I'm supposed to be objective, straight down the middle. But brother, I don't want to wear no Crocs. So I need you to get the job done. Because the wager is if you lose, I gotta wear Crocs.
You agree to that?
I mean, I trust you.
Hey, I appreciate that. And trust me, I'm gonna get the job done. Because let me tell you something. I'm gonna save you from this yourself. Now, some people that saw the video that I posted, I'll retweet it again and again the next couple of days leading up to May 20th. But I got, and JBoujii know about these. I got these bad boys because of him. Okay, these are terrible. These. And I said, hey, I'll get the fancy one. I want y'all to know that I got the legit stuff. I guess that's how the kids say that's how you get a gator right there. But then I really want you to know I got the side boys. I got Crocs on the side. Now here's my thing, man. If I gotta put shower plugs in these to make sure that my feet are dry, I shouldn't be wearing these. If I gotta put these boys and what they call sports mode, I shouldn't be wearing these. If it looked like I just got out of San Quentin or Rikers Island, I shouldn't be wearing these.
Brother Fam calls them the Jessup 900s or something like that. And
listen,
anybody know
man,
from Baltimore know Jessup ain't where you go. That's where you go do another type of college.
These are the Fleece Johnson 3000s. shouldn't nobody be wearing these?
Mm-hmm.
But I said, you know what? I'm a man of my word. I practice what I preach. I'm audition now, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to order them. And if they don't meet my qualifications, then we really going to talk business. And guess what, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
I gave them a small inkling of an opportunity. They were far below my expectations. I hate them. And because of that, I'm going to punch him extra hard in the face on May 20th because he made me buy them. And I'm going to shake his pockets and get my refund for him. I guess that's how they do it at the bodega. I don't know, but somebody going to give me my refund.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't do the Crocs. And see, then it's the cause division in the wrestling realm. You got Brother Hugh, you got the real Dwayne Allen talking about, well, we might be rooting for JBoujii because we want to see you wear Crocs. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, this is going to be the first show where the three of us have been in a unit in a long time. So I want to make sure I come out victorious, brother. Now,
here's what you have to do. I don't want you to make all the wages be. If and it's a big if it'll take a literal act of God to do a heel turn on the Rev Ron Hunt to allow JBoujii to win. Okay, that's what it's going to take. Let's be honest, because I'm coming in with a vengeance. So if he wins, you got to wear Crocs. Cool. But when I win, they need to be rocking something themselves. And I don't know if they got a pair of Crocs already that they don't want to talk about, but if they do and they already like it, they at least owe you like $200 a pop. A free penthouse 1 week vacation.
They can buy a Wrestling Realm shirt from WrestlingRealm.com.
Hey, they got to do something. They got to do something. But I'm pretty confident. I told JBoujii he better come with his A game. He keep tweeting all this stuff out and being reckless. I talked to my boys at Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane himself, O'Shea, Moses. They said, listen, we're gonna do these different shows coming up, these interviews and everything, but we're beyond this. We just want to throw down. So I know we all in the same mindset. And Jay keep talking about he want to hurt me. I hear PJ talking and everything like that. That's the first mistake he made. Because if he's not coming in to fully take me out the game, then he's doing himself a disservice. If he's just coming in to hurt me and think that that's going to be it, there's a reason why I'm going to call the savior of pro wrestling, my guy. So if he's going to come in and do that, best believe, he better try to kill me, literally.
Wow. It's you know, as we record on May 3rd, 17 days away. Man, this is this got all the feels. This feels like a WrestleMania. You know,
it's gonna be his WrestleMania. I'm just gonna prepare for his funeral after. I told his family that I'm not gonna double book. So whatever the booking fee is of the agents there, and then when we got all that squared away, I'm gonna do the funeral for free, just for their pain and suffering and for the embarrassment. And everything that he said in a tweet, I'm gonna get it carved in the casket. Just
oh boy.
I'll do that for them. I'm a general. You know, I like to give, so I'm gonna do the funeral for free, and I'll do it in the middle of the ring too.
Yeah. After you go through the street fight.
After I go through the bodega street fight and kick the alley cats and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, this done gone all over the place on Twitter. You know, you got his family, Queen PR. She's sitting up there, you know, talking about, look, I can't rock with the Crocs, but then she thinking you coming at New York as a whole. You trying to explain I ain't coming at New York. I'm coming at this guy. So it's all over the place.
But if he claiming he the king of New York, and what he say that means that he's a representative. And he said I've had him on a space himself to try to explain himself. He still ain't explaining. But if you say that you are the king of New York, this is how we do it, man. This is who's we? who how many personalities? If it's not New York and you were saying this is how we do it, who exactly is we? How many split personalities do you have, JBoujii? That's all I want to know. But I'm gonna leave that to you, Brian, because you the journalist now, so you can ask those follow-up questions. But that's all I want. Who is we?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is, he's a good brother.
He
You know,
good.
you ain't gotta go too far. You ain't gotta get caskets involved now, you know?
Well,
We could
maybe not now, but I
but, you know,
told him.
you know, I know he got mad at, you know, when, you know, he was doing the ring lights, and I'm
Hey,
like, "Why the ring lights get like, this what we do. Broadcasters need the lighting. Lighting is key. You ain't got nothing if you ain't got lighting."
listen, here's my thing. You know this as well as I know this, and I know you don't want to be biased, but we're trying to teach him things that's going to make him great. You know,
Mhm.
ring lights. You got a ring light, man. Come on, you do great things. Imagine if there was no lights. You trying to get photos after a show, 8x10s and all that, and they don't got no type of lighting.
Exactly.
Like, my come on, my guy. We try to teach you to be great. What exactly is Crocs going to do for me?
I never seen so many people ride so hard for Crocs though. It's
Uh,
like it's almost the divided Black Twitter, Black wrestling
I
Twitter.
look, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've said this before. Now listen. Now here's what I'm gonna say. I said every black person got a little bit of a white nerve in them. Now every now and then when that white nerve hit, you be randomly listening to music that you probably heard 15, 20 years ago, and somehow Nickelback Rockstar came in my head. You know, hey,
Mhm.
I want to be a rock star. I paused this video of these two little girls in Times Square. And I couldn't believe my eyes. And I watched it because I remember they had rappers in it and everything. Everybody in it. Rappers and Gene Simmons. And I paused it and I stared at it like this. I'm like, and what did I see?
Uh-oh.
I saw a little Karen with some Crocs on in the middle of Times Square. This music video was shot about 15, 17 years ago. So maybe JBoujii is on to something. Maybe people in New York are wearing Crocs, but little Karen's was wearing this 17 years ago. How you making this hip now? Where they do that at?
Mhm. Oh, man.
I just I I'm trying. I'm not old. Maybe I'm not with the style. I'm just give me some Tims, give me some J's, give me something, but don't give me Crocs. Do not.
Exactly.
We can't do that. We don't do that here. Like I rock Gators, not Crocs. You feel me? I'm on a whole nother spectrum.
Facts.
Like I'm gonna pull up with a three-piece suit on and some Gators. I ain't pulling up in no Crocs. We on a whole nother level. There's levels to this. But he gonna have to learn the hard way. It's the immaturity, but he gonna have to learn the hard way. So instead of me treating him like a little brother, like what I thought he was when I initially said, "Feed me JBoujii," I'm gonna have to son him. And we all know what happens when you got a bad behind son that don't want to listen to nothing. My mama said, "A hard head make a soft behind."
Oh, man. So, once again, you ethered him.
I'm trying to behave, dog. I really am. I'm trying to do what's best for the people, but they might he might take me to another level,
Mhm.
and his blood is going to be on all of his brothers' hands with Takeover, and they can't say nothing because what I honestly feel on May 20th, for those that have not seen me, those in my hometown of Pittsburgh, they know what it's like when I get down. They know what it's like when I flip that gear.
Mhm.
And sometimes it is not pretty. And I feel honored, and I think that the people should feel honored. Those that have got their tickets, those that will be getting their tickets, those that will be watching online from out of town. If you can't get your tickets, but if you can get your tickets, you need to be there. If not, shame on you. But I really feel that the people that's going to be there live, they're going to see a side of me. Number one, a lot of them haven't even seen me physically wrestle. That's what you're going to see. Number one, but number two, you're going to see me click into a whole nother gear, and that gear people might not be able to handle that. But when it come down to business, I told him, I said, JBoujii, you got to understand one thing, bro. You talking like you the one that do all the, to get the job done in the streets. I'm the one that calls the shots.
Mm.
So when I take the shirt off, when I take the silk shirt off, when I take the suit off, when I take the gaiters off, and I put on the tights, I put on the jeans, I put on the boots, it's a whole nother ball game, and it's going to be a point of no return. It's too late when you're in between them square ropes. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. but we're gonna take it a step further. And that step further is gonna happen May 20th in the Bodega Street Fight match. I can't wait, honestly. I can't wait. I'm excited. I can do it now. I should just drive down there and start knocking out folk in the bodega.
Make sure y'all get y'all tickets because this is going to be one. What better would you be doing on Friday night? This is going to be one for the ages. I can't wait. Like I said,
making history. We
making history.
Myself versus JBoujii. You got the faceless ones versus O'Shea Edwards and Moses. Now we've seen them tag as 6-man. We've seen them tag an 8-man, but you're seeing these guys do what they do. And I'm gonna tell you, anybody that you pair at STP, just as a tag team as a whole, there's a cohesiveness there. We've said it before, we'll say it again. We are not machine made. We are self-made. There's a difference. Machine made is eventually going to break, but when you self-made, there's just something about that you can't touch. There's a collectiveness that you can't touch. There's a brotherhood that's come from fighting in the trenches because you're self-made that you can't touch. So
I've seen Moses take care of business at Maryland or MCW Pro Wrestling. I've seen
people sleep on my boy, man. You've seen him. You've seen him.
He's a star.
He can go to work.
Yep. Tell me how did the Shane Taylor Promotions come about? Because it just like, y'all, it's a vibe, right? And you, for those who was at Wale Mania, like I was right there when y'all came in the building, and it was just like, it's like business has just picked up. All you needed was Jim Ross saying business has just picked up, But how did y'all, create this and bring it to where it is today?
Yeah. Well, I would say I think it was I want to say it was about early 2019, if I'm correct. And we're talking about like fresh in the spring, coming off the winter season 2019. I was able to get connected with Shane a little bit on a deeper level. We always had connections. That was before I was signed, with just, talking to a couple of different people in network and everything like that. But it wasn't until about early 2019. Shane and I started talking a little bit deeper, and I began to see his frustration. This ended about the early mid run of his Ring of Honor television title run. And I heard where he was at. And naturally, I've seen myself in those same shoes. It was like I was talking to a spitting image of myself. And I feel like he felt the same. And it was one of those things that the light bulb just clicked and said, listen, we're all thinking the same. We might as well go after this thing collectively and really show what your worth is. And I think the initial thing that a lot of people don't understand is that it initially started with Shane and I, because I wanted people to see the worth in Shane that I saw in him. So I put a little bit of money behind it, and I said, listen, this is how my services can help you. And later on, that's when, Shane didn't want to renew his contract, but he was still the Ring of Honor television champion. He wanted to do things on his own. We started to talk to each other. And that's when we publicly announced Shane Taylor Promotions. And if you guys remember, in about the mid part of his television title run, everything had to go through STP. It had to go across my desk. It had to go across my table. So they wanted to sign a match. You can't just sign it under Ring of Honor. You had to sign it Ring of Honor partnering with Shane Taylor Promotions. And if the money lined up, similar to how Floyd Mayweather was doing it, if the money lined up right, we signed. All right, now we're working as business partners. But if the money don't line up, we're going to keep going to the table. And what we begin to see is that we were starting to make waves. He was starting to get more respect behind his name. We're starting to make more of an impact. And then he had a louder voice. And I tell you this, Shane is a visionary. The first thing he said to me is, if you remember when they started that new Ring of Honor development, he said, I want Connor Moses. Say no more. Let me know what you want. I'm going to drop a business plan. We're going to talk business and see what happened. Once again, two like-minded brothers that was thinking the same exact thing. We saw more out of them than what the office saw. Mm-hmm. We eventually get them on board itself. All of a sudden, they get that big, long, stretched out line. I believe it was Columbus, Ohio. All four of us was out there. It was magic. Something about it. Whether they liked it a little bit or they didn't like it at all, they knew that it was money. It looked like money. It smelled like money. It tastes like money. And we fought like money. We want O'Shea. Once again, a dude that I feel was hitting on the independents. Shane knew that was hitting on the independents for years to come. Fast forward, we pick him up. And I feel everything that we did was always an I told you so moment that either they were a little bit scared or a little bit hesitant. But when they finally said, all right, listen, they ain't shutting up, they ain't stopping, they're keeping the foot on the gas, and they ain't taking no lightly. Let's give them an opportunity. You give us that opportunity, you give us 1 inch, we take it 100 yards. And then we say, we told you so. So now you look at it, what, 3.5 years later, it's a movement. And we're not talking about a movement for the culture internationally. And honestly, we're humbled by it. From our people itself representing for what we wanted to be a representation of, that you don't have to be a drug dealer, you don't have to be a ball player, you don't have to, be a rapper in order to make it being a Black person in our sport and just in America as a whole. Whatever you set your mind to do, you stick to it, you make goals, and you make it possible. And that's the message that we want to leave for our people. But to see it being supported nationwide, and I'm talking about people in the UK hitting us up during Mania week, coming over to our booth, big companies out there that hopefully we'll be working with in the future, saying, "Oh, we know about you guys, mate. We're big up. You guys are the big following." That humbles us, honestly. And so that's how it got started, man. Like-minded brothers, knowing what we were going through in the trenches and knowing that we can do better if we just had a little bit of the opportunity. And that's something that we want to share with the world, and that we're slowly trying to get out there even more to show the representation of our brothers and sisters out there.
So let me ask you. So did y'all hold the TV title hostage? Well, and maybe that's the wrong word, but he was champion while he was, I guess, in contract negotiations.
Correct. So,
okay.
I would say this: it wasn't held hostage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Shane is what he is, the baddest man on the planet. He's the baddest champ you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. So it's not our fault that some of your challengers, some of your former champs, when it came to Shane holding that title, couldn't beat him. They should have trained harder, but they did it.
Do you think that's why they were scared to make the match that I suggested earlier?
I feel that when you look at it, there's a reason why certain things didn't happen the way that they happened. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason how, and maybe I'm biased. I would like outside people on the outside looking in that are not directly connected with STP to weigh in on this. I have not seen something as of what has been happening right now of so much power, so many people, such a large fan base behind something, and the people that have a little bit of waves have not moved on it. And I think that there is a reason behind that. Mm-hmm. And to the normal man, that would break the normal man, that would break the normal unit and say, let us just bow and just do what we need to do to get to certain places. But that's not us. We pride ourselves in staying true to ourselves, because as soon as we give up our trueness, then we lose our respect. Then we just become another, well, if you just do what so-and-so said, you could be much further. That's not us. We stand true to our loyals no matter what. But I do believe that when you look down back at it, I really don't think that there has been anything like what a lot of people have been seeing of so much crowd support, so many of our people, and I'm talking about universally, being as vocal as they are on social media and in person, rather as tagging people, telling people to their face at events. But yet, for some reason, you have been seeing other people get certain things multiple times, of not just once, but yet our unit are moving in silence. There's a reason behind that.
So if I could get a little controversial here, is that reason why we haven't seen, you and Shane on AEW Dark or Dark Elevation? Because you're going to protect the brand rather than just be jobbed out?
I would say, our whole thing it has to be a right business decision. Mm-hmm. And our whole thing, and don't get me wrong, there has been some frustration sometimes when you feel like you're doing your thing and you're doing your thing. But when I look at it like this. I feel that there is worth. I feel like that whatever company decides to move in whatever aspect, and they decide to market and use the brand of STP, I really do feel like they will make back 2 times, 3 times, and maybe even 4 times of what they are investing in it. I feel like sometimes there's a misconception and a confusion based off of what they see. It just means that we're doing good business. But if you talk to the people that we were with for the last few years, and you talk to some of those close people, they will tell you that STP is money. My very first space, and he will vouch for this. You can clip this and tag him in it. My very first Twitter space that I did, Kerry Silkin jumped on it, uninvited. Just saw it, jumped on it, requested to talk. He clearly said, I want all of STP in the new Ring of Honor. I feel like every single one of you guys should be a part of the new Ring of Honor. And if I can talk to Tony Khan, and when I do talk to Tony Khan, he's a busy man, but I will tell him exactly that. That came from a guy that has helped the company not die, that has rich history, and is one of the main reasons why a lot of your stars are in multiple national companies on our U.S. soil today. He is one of the bricklayers of remodeling the company. And for him to say that, that is an honor. And he's not saying that. No one paid him to say that. He's saying that out the kindness of his heart. And because he knew that everything that we did, we put our heart into it. We did the best for business. And they knew that when you saw STP, you saw the graph go like this.
Yeah.
So, but our main thing is this. When you look at it, our whole thing is this. We use whatever we feel as motivation, whether that's anger, whether that's sadness, whether that's frustration, we use it as motivation. Because winners don't look back and say, what if? They don't look to the side of them. They keep it going forward, and they say, we still going to do what we do. And when the right time is the right time, the right things will happen. And in this business, we say never say never. So that goes for whatever insert 3-letter company you want that's running on a national level. If you guys want to talk business, we are open to talk business. Nothing is off the table. For those of you that we have already slightly talked business to, let's continue talking business. But at the end of the day, we know that any company that backs up the 3 letters of STP, you are in good hands. You can bet that, and you got my promise on that.
Wow. Rev, I want to talk about, you want to go a little bit deeper here. So, in the wrestling world, it's no secret that there aren't a lot of historically there wasn't a lot of people who did great business or wasn't really educated. With black wrestlers in the past, they always didn't have the access. And there's always the saying, you got to work twice as hard to get half. When did you, I guess, like, as far as like business wise, did you go to school for like business marketing? And when did you decide to like really focus on the business side on the wrestling side? You know, as far as like, I understand like you working with Shane, but obviously you had to come with him with a business mindset to get this even started. When did you develop that?
Absolutely. You know, I really do feel, you know, and you know, it's by no shape of imagination. That's why I'm the Rev Ron Hunt. Faith is something that's very big with me. So my major is actually in media communications. It has a focus within broadcast and also has a focus within public relations and marketing.
That's why you got ring lights.
Hey, that's something bodega money can't buy you, man.
Exactly.
He don't watch. Watch. This is bodega money, okay? STP money. STP money. You gotta have a ring lights, man. But that's why, man. But you know, I think, you know, what really clicked the light for me, and I feel like it was twofold. There were people that had honest questions, and there are people that, you know, people just want to start drama. They want there to be some type of dissension within the unit. So I always got the question, Rev, do you feel like you were wrestling on Ring of Honor more? Did you feel like this? Did you feel like that? No, absolutely not. You know, would it have been great? Yeah. But did I despise anything the way that it was done? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, I'm still making business moves. I'm still getting the same TV time. I'm saving the bump card. But at the same time, I'm helping with the rest of my brothers to grow an empire and build and build and build. These are real life traits that you're helping to grow an industry that you love, but then also you are learning in the industry that you love to also apply to real world traits. So the strengths of it recycled itself. But I think the light that really dawned on me was, so many people look at the one-dimensional strength of what they do. Rather, they're a manager, they just focus on that. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're a wrestler, they just strictly focus on that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you are always strong if you can show yourself being a double, triple, quadruple threat. So the people that have seen me, the people that have seen the videos, the people that have definitely seen me live, they know I can throw down in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
The people that have heard me on Ring of Honor, the people that have seen me with a live mic in my hand, they know I can hold my own on the mic. But then also to show a business aspect of things, that's when you're looking like, okay, we might have something here. And so I looked at it like this. I'm here to help. Help me help you. Now I don't got to finish so like Kevin Hart, but help me help you. So my whole thing is with this, whatever your goal is, how can you use one of my multiple strengths to help us unitedly make that goal? And whatever that is, let me know. We go to the drawing, we write up a blueprint, we write up a game plan, and we see how we can execute that. And so that's my whole thing. If my strengths are being used to help elevate the bigger mission and the bigger purpose, then I know my mission is complete and I'm on the right track and my gifts are being used adequately. And that's how I look at it. So it's not a loss. It's not a loss. But whatever my strengths are to meet that goal, we move it in the right direction.
Man, that's awesome. Well, who's some of your favorite managers that you like watched growing up?
Man, I got so many. I would say that I'm a little bit biased here because my trainer was Alpha the Wild Simone, so I gotta throw Captain Lou in there, man. I gotta throw Captain Lou. You got to throw your boy in there, man.
Yeah.
But I would say another one that many people don't think about. They just look at the refereeing side of things. Even if they don't look at that, look at the general manager side of things. But Teddy Long.
Yes, sir.
You got to get a player his credit, man. You got to get a player his credit. But you look at him, you look at Teddy Long, Captain Lou Albano, you look at Slick. There are so many great names that I think I've been able to at least pick something off of, even outside of the Black community. Bobby the Brain Heenan, so many great names that you're able to at least pick something off of and see what works for them. And, just like we say in the normal pop culture and media and everything, at some point history will repeat itself. And so if you look at what worked then or what didn't work then, and you learn from those life lessons before you even make those decisions, that makes your journey of success a little quicker because you don't have to repeat the same mistakes that people in your past have repeated. But then also you can pick up on something, tweak it, and see how you can make it your own to reach your own particular goal. So that's it's always a study in business. So, but those are just a few, man. Those are just a few to name right off the cuff.
Yeah, now I know you do some acting as well. Did you get into acting first or wrestling? Was it wrestling or acting first? And how have they helped you with each other?
Yeah, absolutely. They actually got started right around the same time. So I got started initially in acting in 2011. That's when I started within my pro wrestling journey as well. Started within doing, extra work and slowly was able to climb throughout the years and work with one of our agents here in Pittsburgh to slowly be able to get some more parts and some bigger roles and everything toward that extent. But I think from the jump, number one, I would say just being comfortable on camera. Being able to adapt, being comfortable with ad-libbing and going off the cuff, being comfortable with showing emotion and allowing your emotions to change without you feeling uncomfortable. All of those within acting class helps you to prepare. And even in the real world, keep your composure and being able to control your emotion, even in tense situations. And that even goes with when you're dealing in the boardroom. You got to be able to throw on your poker face. And, you might not like something. Maybe you want to show something out, or maybe you just want to keep it chill and be like, we'll talk about this later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I think that they both equally complemented each other. And you know, I definitely think now in the latter aspect of things, pro wrestling definitely now has helped me further in the acting world. You know, for example, you know, just within the last week, I had to do a script. My agent sent me a script. I had about 3 days to look at it. She's like, "Hey, I got this audition for you. 3 days to look at it." Next thing I know, I'm like, "Yo, just this one role, you got me memorizing 4 to 5 pages." Oh snap! But just being able to just get in that zone and have it click, you know, get in that zone and have it click. So they both complement each other.
Okay. Yeah, I took a excuse me, when I was in school at Morgan State University, I took an acting class, and I remember like this is like in the middle, like year 2 of the wrestling realm. Um, and I remember like learning about spacing and being on the floor. And I just remember at that time, now, mind you, when I was taking this class, this is at the height of the Rock Cena,
Yep.
2012. So of course I'm thinking like all the time Cena cutting the promos on the Rock about him leaving the business to go into movies. And I was like, oh, that's why he cuts his promos a certain way. And that's how they, using the space inside the ring,
Yep.
and so I like I said, I just know going into acting classes how it helped me even just become a better on air talent.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something and we doing our traditional show, which is in studio style, moving a certain way, standing a certain way.
Absolutely, and I think that that's one of the things that I implore everyone to do it, even if you're not, even if you don't want to go into an on camera personnel aspect, as you know, even from a production. And I know
Hmm.
they talk about this with a NABJ as well. So small things, especially if you're you work cameras at an event. If you're able to know that, like, hey, when you cut this, maybe stand this way. Or a lot of people don't know, for example, one thing called the V. So I don't want to
Yeah.
see a side profile of everybody's face, but if I can get you slightly at a V, I can get the equal amount of everyone's face. We can get the just emotion out of all of this. And
Hmm.
I know it's burning to your head doing those out in class, stage left and stage right, and this and I'm like, dang, wait, so it's not my left, but y'all want stage left. What in the world? So being able to kind of adjust to those things, and it even works within TV and motion picture. Taking directions from from the director. Hey, I need you to look 45 right, da da da. Slightly turn here at this part. Being able to work the camera so you can
Hmm.
get the best out of it, and you want your words to have power. You want
Yeah.
everything. You want people to feel you. And I think that that's another thing that people always said was different about STP. Rather it was collectively or individually. And what I try to tell people, every single one of us, it's not like a unit and they're strong, but someone carries a
Yeah.
load. Every single one of us can individually cut a promo and
Hmm.
hold our own. And then collectively, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I think that that's one thing that a lot of people feel is different with us. And it's because, number one, we say what we mean and we mean what we say. But number two, we know how to let you feel everything through a screen as if you're talking to us in person.
Yep.
And that's one of the secrets right there, honestly.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. Like I brought up Moses earlier because he had this bout for getting ready for the MCW championship with Brian Johnson, and you could tell like I want to say the influence of working with people like you said, like-minded people, like-minded business wise, and the way he was moving around on screen, the way the thing was produced. Like I would be I would take a guess that he was the one who like really directed and it said how he wanted, how he envisioned, and so like even with the promos, I mean, just y'all going on live, you and JBoujii, you know, uh, I watched the emotion, and Jay had you stuck.
Yeah.
Jay had you stuck. You're like, oh, you can see it like in their face because it was like, I can't even do nothing. Like this guy got
Yeah.
me, you know.
Yes.
And he admitted it on last episode of Wrestling for the Culture. So when y'all finish, if y'all ain't see that, make sure y'all check out what Jay Bougie had to say. And then and in between time, buy a ticket for the show. but so just sitting there watching, but like I said, watching you, how showing that emotion, inside the ring, it's the hard cam,
Yep.
and fans think it's easy. I remember the time when MJF was at MCW and he didn't go to the right hard cam, you
Yep.
know, but it's a part of growth and development, so, but before we get out of here, man, let the people know, what they can expect in the next season, I should say, and where they can find you.
For sure, for sure. Well, just coming up whenever this posts, I got a couple of dates in Texas. Going to be doing a couple of things in Texas with a company called Christian Wrestling Federation. So doing some cool things out there. They got a real unique environment, and I think the best of both worlds collide with one. They've been running for, I want to say, close to about 20 years or so. Some names you've probably heard down there: Michael Tarver, formerly with Nexus, a former WWE superstar. Secret is the one that did Lion in the Jungle theme. That's actually Michael Tarver.
Okay.
So Caprice Coleman has also been down there. Lodi from WCW has been down there. So going to be making my debut down there and showing them what we all about. But then also, we lining up all the chips in the deck, man. May 20th, it's going down. Takeover versus STP, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, Invictus Pro Wrestling. Got a lot of crazy things happening. I'm not the only one that's going to be on that show. You got you got Moses, you got Shane, you got O'Shea, you got my boy Sean Maluda that's going to be coming in the building. They just signed a women's match on board. Got one of my other guys from Pittsburgh, AJ Alexander, is going to be swinging through, and the list goes on. They also just announced my boy from Subway Mania in the New York area. So it's going to be real New York-like and smell like bodegas. Get your tickets now. There's going to be some blood, sweat, and tears all over the place. But everything that you need to know, man, everything that's going on with our unit, the Rev Ron Hunt on all social media, Shane Taylor, Shane216 Taylor, you got all that. Big Bad Kaiju, you got Prolific Moses. Follow all of us on social media. You see where all of us at. And we're doing some big, big things. And very soon, we're going to be doing some overseas things. But keep that under the radar. Keep that very general. We're going to be doing some big things internationally, too.
So I guess us all going out to eat, breaking bread might not happen if after the street fight.
Listen, I heard people talking about they want JBoujii to throw a cat on me. They was naming some other stuff. I'm like, that must be some New York stuff. I don't know. All I know is that if JBoujii has the audacity to wear Crocs going into this Bodega Street fight match, I'm going to toss him out the ring like Uncle Phil. I'm jacking his Crocs off his face. I'm jacking him up, and I'm smacking him in his face with it. Pow. Yeah, I'm a Will Smith him with a Croc.
Wow, you heard what he said. May 20th, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets. The Wrestling Realm will be in the building with our good brothers, our good sisters in this wrestling community.
We're not
I'm
gonna make
excited.
Brandon wear no Crocs.
That's what I'm talking about. My man. Y'all heard what he said. Brian H will not be wearing Crocs because he's gonna take care of business in the ring. Rev, appreciate you coming on, brother. We got to do this again. We got to do this again very soon. Afterwards, shoot, we might even get an on-site post-match interview.
You got it.
Yeah. So, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for this episode of Wrestling for the Culture. I'm Brian H. Waters. So long, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this week's episode of Wrestling for the Culture. For more episodes or more content from the Wrestling Realm Network, hit the subscribe button down low. Make sure you turn on the bell for notifications. Till the next time,